What if the most powerful spiritual technology in the entire universe already exists inside of you? That is what we are going to be talking about today. Welcome to the 121 episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. Everyone, the records are now open. Say hello to me once you get here. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Move my mic just a little bit closer. Let me switch over here so I can see your all's comments. Regina is in the house today. What's up, Regina? Regina knows a little bit about this technology, the Akashic Records, that we're going to talk more about today. If this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Emily Harrison. You can't see me. Colossus Tone in the house. All right. We got to make sure you guys can see me here. Somebody else let me know if the tech is working properly. Hang on. Come back in, see if that works. Melinda Lane is coming in from Canada. What's up? Good to see you, Miss Melinda. If this is the first time we're meeting, I'm Emily. Hopefully you can see me in here now. And my area of expertise in this lifetime is the Akashic Records. If you are new to the Akashic Records, I'm so honored to share with you. You can see and hear me. Excellent. Great. Right on. Ice coming in from Fremont, Cali. I love it. Lynn Armstrong coming in from Utah. Right on, everybody. All right. Do me a favor. Light up my screen with some loves, some likes, some hearts there. Help me blow up the algorithms here. The more people that join us for this sacred training today inside this sacred classroom, the more of our power that we get back. So let's talk about the Akashic Records. All right. Great. Now Regina sees me. The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness that hold all information, every detail of our past, our present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. So just let that land for a second. If you are new to the Akashic Records, we have access to all of the data, all of the intelligence in the universe, superconscious intelligence. Every single human on the planet has an Akashic record. Your unique Akashic record holds an account of your soul's experience throughout all incarnations, okay? And when we learn to tap into the Akashic Records, we can get instantaneous wisdom, guidance, and clarity about our lives, about what's going on in the world, about how to heal ourselves, about what our gifts and skills are, about how we can create the lives that we really want to live. We are all on a sacred mission here together on the planet to create heaven on earth. And if you take a look around out into what looks like, I'm going to call it reality out there. We all have a collective agreement that we're going to call this reality. However, what I'd like to invite you into today is the awareness that we're experiencing a hologram. Your body, your human body, is technology that is sacredly designed to interface with this hologram. Soul source and blueprint. Tone actually shared some cool verbiage with me this weekend about our technology. It's like, remember, Emily, we're not actually viewing the world with our eyes. We're seeing it as a projection on the back of our mind. Okay. So begin to look at your body as a piece of technology that is designed to interface with the hologram, with what we're experiencing as reality. And one of the biggest secrets, one of the biggest moments of gravitas, really, when we take a look at this outside world, the reality of what's going on, is it is effed up out there. So what does that tell us? That we've got stuff on the inside of us that is effed up too. We've got to show up and do our work at a very high level right now. How do we heal our planet? How do we shift into a vibrational frequency that is more supportive for all of the collective? We don't wait for the leaders to do that. This is the time where self-leadership, your soul is designed to take the reins and lead your human through this experience. That's why the Akashic Records are so impactful, is that that's where we get the intelligence of our soul. You can use the Akashic Records to merge with your higher self, to bring that that higher wisdom into your bodies, into this technology that we have, so that you can perceive the world outside of the illusion, the Maya, the matrix. Melinda says, mirror, mirror on the wall. I'm so excited to show you all how it works today, too. Here's the coolest thing about the Akashic Records is that we're all already tapped in to this field. All right, so let's talk about the technology that exists within you already that you can begin using. I want you to start using it right away. Okay, so here's how we connect into the field of the Akash, right? Truly, this field is all around us, this field of intelligence. Remember, wisdom, data. And when you think about the world around us and all of the things, the physical things in the world around us, it's all just a bunch of energy. It's data. It's a particular vibration that is in coherence with other molecules that is creating something that feels very solid to us. However, it's all just data. Everything around us is just data, and our human technology is designed to interact with it. This realm that we live in, the earth realm, is designed to project it into what feels like a physical reality so that our souls can learn and grow. What is the basis of the lesson? The basis of the lesson is remembering who we are, that we are creator beings. We are designed to create. What are you creating right now in your life? Well, we're creating our existence. And we're here to create more mindfully than going through the motions of everyday life and repeating patterns and repeating karmic challenges and experiencing suffering. We create the suffering that we actually experience here. And when we remember that we are tapped into a field of infinite intelligence, we get smarter. We start creating something different. All right. So this technology that's within you, it's called the crystalline tube of light. It runs up and down your spine. Take a moment and just drop into your crystalline tube, everybody. As you tap in, as you make contact with this energetic technology, it's a plasma technology. Ooh, my body starts to buzz. I get a little bit dizzy. See what you notice when you start to tap in. But the second you start to tune your intelligence into this piece of technology, the crystalline field, it illuminates, it activates. Okay, you want to know how do you activate your DNA? How do you activate your energy? How do you activate your intuition? Shift your awareness to it. Okay. My tech is telling me it's hungry. All right, eat the rainbow, washing machine and more. That's everything that we eat. Our bodies are alchemizing. Talk about the powerful technology that our bodies are. We are natural magicians as well. Type alchemy in the comments if you've studied alchemy for me. Alchemy is in essence what we're doing. That's the healing process that we're undergoing. We are experiencing energy that's corruptible, and we're turning it into energy that's stable. That's what alchemy is. Washing machine has experienced alchemy. All right. As soon as you eat something within 20 minutes, it becomes a part of you. Your body is breaking it down and changing its form into a new form of energy. That's what we're doing with our trauma. That's what we get to do here today. All right. I want you guys to start lighting up my chat box with questions that you would like to ask your Akashic Records. And I'm going to use my crystalline tube of light. Perhaps you want to play and use yours today too, but I'm going to use my crystalline tube of light to receive data, to receive intelligence. Some people call it channeling. And share with you insights, higher level insights that are coming in from the Akashic Records to help us alchemize these challenges that we're experiencing, the traumas that we're experiencing. Okay, places in your life where you feel stuck, where you feel like you're not creating with your full potential. You know, maybe that's within your family. Maybe your family feels disharmonious. I've got teenage kids, all of our children, they need us out there, struggling out there. It's one thing that I've definitely been working on lately is bringing more harmony into my family. And there are challenges. My trauma comes up. Okay. My mommy unhealed nervous system and my storylines of how I feel like I do everything myself, they come up. I actually just had an encounter with my kid last night about that. So what the Akashic Records do, what this crystalline tube of light does, is help us to process and perceive information that is beyond our reach when we are in the human experience, when we're in the trauma, when we're in the trigger. And anytime you have triggers, that's actually the time that we get to learn and grow. That's the opportunity for evolution, is when you're experiencing your triggers. So tell me about your triggers too. In the comments, I can channel some insight for you around the triggers. And by the time we're done today, I'm going to make sure I let you guys know how you can do this too. All right. So again, crystalline tube of light runs up and down your spine. When you connect your crystalline tube of light into the core of this planet, the core of Mother Earth, you are tapping into the divine blueprint of this planet, which is to be in perfect harmony, balance, and creatorship, to be in a state of peace, love, joy, and harmony and abundance. That is our natural state. If you are not living in that natural state in places in your life, a lot of places where we're challenged to live in abundance is in our finances and in love, receiving love. So every time that we get to work on these issues ourselves, not only are we stepping more into our divine blueprint, we're also shifting and changing the planet. All right, good. I got some questions rolling in here. One more thing that I want to share with you all about the crystalline tube of light. This is a piece of plasma technology. So what do we know about plasma? We know that plasma is a conscious substance. Geometry is also a part of this piece of technology. So when this piece of conscious technology hears our intention, or I use the term hear loosely. It's a vibrational match, okay? We send out a question. We put out an inquiry. We put out a desire. We put out a manifestation. We adjust our internal frequency to create something in the outside world. The crystalline tube of light is what's responding and interfacing with the Akashic field. And this crystalline tube of light responds to your intention. So once you have an intention, whether it's a conscious intention or an unconscious intention, the intentions are going to be very conscious today because I'm going to be asking questions. What happens is there is a channel of energy. You'll see my hand spiraling. It brings in the data through a spiraling shape, a spiraling geometry. It's going to bring that energy through my entire body. And that data will begin to upload in my body, meaning I'll start feeling goosies or energy move or shift. Sometimes it's warm, sometimes it's cool. There's a temperature differential. Sometimes the quality of the energy that I feel in my body is different, like it's effervescent in times, or it can feel like it's more of a pressure at times. Then my brain starts to illuminate with ideas. Sometimes I'll see pictures for you. Sometimes I will hear a feed of intelligence that comes in like it's, what do you call those? Audio feed earplugs that are coming in. All right. These are my different clairs that are working. When I talk about the goosies moving through my body, that's clairsentience. If I talk about a picture in my mind, that's clairvoyance. If I talk about a feed coming in my ear, that's clairaudience. We all have all of these clairs. If you'll check the description below wherever you are watching, I left you a free present, a free training where you can start training your clairs as well. Again, we all have this technology. And I'm going to do my best today to share with you how it's working through my body so that you can begin to identify how it's working with you too. Because this is subtle energy. It happens in the imagination, in the field of perception within my body. So doing things like meditation, Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, these are all exercises that will get you in touch with your subtle energy body so that you can perceive what's happening inside of you, inside of your mind more. Okay, washing machine says, play, take me back so I connect with my higher self readily. All right, so let me tap in and see what the Akashic Records want to share with us about how we can tap into our higher self more readily. Of course, one of the ways is to tap into the frequency of the Akashic Records. So I'm doing that right now by tapping my crystalline tube of light into the core of this planet, the core of Mother Earth. I'm also sending it with my imagination, with my intention, outside of my head, all the way up through the layers of space and time. Whoo, electricity just shot through my body as I said it. Exiting the universe, exiting the multiverse, and I'm anchoring that crystalline tube of light into the Akash, or the all that is. Okay. Let me see what the guides want to say now about the best way that we can integrate our higher self. The access point into the Akashic Records, or where we would have the wisdom of our higher self at all times, comes through the soul star chakra. Okay, so you've got, and again, the crystalline tube of light that goes up and down the spine. All of those major chakras that run up and down the spine, you're going to hit them if you use the crystalline tube of light. They're all going to get some activation. All right. So the soul star exists about 12 to 18 inches above the crown. So if here's the top of my head, let me scoot down a bit. About 12 to 18 inches above here, this is going to be my crown chakra. Crown chakra is where you process your relationship to God. Okay, let's do a clearing. I knocked my tuning fork down. Hang on. Let it go. Let's do a clearing of the crown chakra first, which is where we process our relationship to God. And those of you who grew up with a lot of religious programming, I mean, I grew up immersed in the Southern Baptist Church, and doing this kind of work, tapping into our psychic and spiritual gifts, was a no. And part of the how our power gets hidden in plain sight. Jesus said, the least amongst you can do all that I have done and more. And he was walking on the water and multiplying the loaves, and he was being psychic every day, y'all. All right, so anybody who has not yet given themselves permission to exist in their full psychic power, let's clear out the crown chakra. That has to do a lot of times with how we process our relationship to God. Okay, we can't leave the God entity outside of ourselves and have the God entity come save us or turn us on. We got to self-initiate. We got to bring the God energy back to life within each one of us and claim that first. Okay, let's everybody pause for a moment. I want you to drop in to the God, goddess consciousness, that intelligence that is alive in every cell inside of your body. And if you want to know what it looks and feels like to experience yourself free and sovereign from any religious programming and allow yourself to experience your own relationship with the divine, you can say yes now, and you will break all of those contracts forward and backward through time, terrestrial and non-terrestrial, that are requiring your soul to play out thought patterns and belief systems that are outdated. And so it is. Whew, that was a powerful clearing. Who all said yes to that? Okay, so that was step one, is tapping back into the God consciousness that is within each one of us and clearing out any static or any unconscious agreements that we have to experience the God energy in a paradigm outside of us. Now we want to work in the soul star a little bit. So soul star is going to be about 12 to 18 inches above the crown chakra. And this is where the Akashic records merge into your field. So you have access to this intelligence all the time. So locate your consciousness in the soul star chakra. So we're about 2 feet above the head right now. And I want you to imagine this golden white light, like a giant egg, coming all around you. Woo, those of you who have clairsentience, you might be feeling this. And you can feel that energy come back to a close below your feet in the earth star chakra. And if you are ready to allow yourself to be led by unseen guidance as you tap higher frequencies of truth, of wisdom, of courage, and you are ready to allow the merging of your higher self into your field, you can say yes now. Nice inhale, good. Fill the lungs all the way up, and as you exhale, release all of the air out of the lungs. This is a full reset for the nervous system to bring in the frequency of your higher self. Okay, the guides also want me to share what becomes possible for you now that wasn't possible for you before as you vibrate in coherence with your higher self. You will be able to maintain a frequency of peace, which allows you to tap into your power instantaneously. You will also begin to experience the revelation of the divine blueprint of humanity. As the heart of the ascended earth and the divine collective is now activated through your field. Expect to feel a tremendous amount of compassion towards yourself and others. And expect to find a new level of your strength through softness. And so it is. Ooh, good stuff. That was good. All right. Thank you, washing machine, for that activation. Guys, send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if that felt good to you. Felt good to me. All right. Let's tap back in and see what else we got here. All right. Shelly Raw Element says, alchemy, what do I need to know about this? That alchemy is, let's see what else the guys want to say. It's happening naturally within each one of us. We are already magicians. We have the ability to turn any experience that feels like it is dark, like it is corruptible. That's the only word that's coming into my mind right now. Something that corrupts our energy, that corrupts our field, that corrupts our ability to experience heaven on earth, that corrupts our ability to receive abundance, peace, love, joy. All of it is ours by divine right. Okay, so anytime that we are witnessing a challenge, or it's okay, so here's what the guys want to say. Rather than looking at ourselves as experiencing challenges, let's look at ourselves as witnessing challenges. We are the divine godlike technology that is here to witness the challenge. And as we witness the challenge and we ask for the higher wisdom, we meet that challenge differently. That's how we're alchemizing it. And if you're here, you're alive, you are breathing on the planet right now, you are part of the Great Reset. The work that you do to alchemize things that corrupt your field are changing the entire planet. Okay, the guys want to bring in an activation that will help support us in this process of alchemy that we're doing. Let me just see. Okay, the guys want to work in the root chakra right now so that we can tap into safety. One of the biggest reasons that we give away our power is because there have been times when we have stepped into our full power. Perhaps you've experienced that in this lifetime or in a previous lifetime, and we've been persecuted for stepping into our full power. That can look like being burned at the stake. It can also look like being a child and stepping forward with a good idea or something funny that popped off in your mind, and you say it out loud and you get shut down for it. So feeling safe to be our full selves is the activation that the guides want to bring in right now. It is safe to exist within my divine blueprint, within my divine potential. Okay. It is safe for me to exist within my divine blueprint, within my divine potential. Let's up-level that a little more even. Who knows about syntax? The I am statement is where it's really at. Okay? I am safe to experience my divine blueprint, comma, my divine potential. Nice deep breath in, full inhale, exhale all the air out of the lungs. Let yourself reset the nervous system. Whoo. Good stuff this week, y'all. Being safe to exist in your divine potential. I want some of that. I got some. I hope you got some too. Type yes if you got some too. All right, and let's who was that brought that in? Shelly. Thank you, Shelly. Melinda Lane says, after the initial insight, when do we shift? The insight brings in a higher vibrational frequency, that aha moment, like we're like, oh, dang, cool. Like you see something differently. You feel that bit of vibrational shift. However, the full shift takes place the next time you get triggered with that issue, and you being able to hold the frequency of the new version of you. That's when we fully embody the shift, is after the test, when we pass the test. All right. Let me know if that makes sense, Mel. All right, Michelle, my question. How does chronic illness serve a higher purpose for me and the collective? Rock and roll. Let me tap in. All right. Well, the first thing that the guides want to say is, again, any illness or dis-ease that we are experiencing allows ourselves to remember our ability to heal. So there's always an invitation to remember the truth of who we are anytime a sickness comes, a dis-ease comes into our field. Okay? Things that are chronic usually go back to childhood or a past life, an unresolved karmic lesson that we have. And so chronic illness is an opportunity to learn as well, to learn about ourselves. All right, so Michelle, let me tap in and see what specifically the guides would love to share about your chronic illness. Thank you. And thank you for the vulnerability and sharing with us what's going on in your world. Guys, send some love, likes, hearts across the screen for Michelle. Okay, your chronic energy has to do with heart energy and a painful abandonment trauma that you experienced. It feels like in this lifetime and carried over from previous lifetimes that caused your soul to go into hiding around self-expression. And Michelle, you can let me know if this resonates for you. I'm calling in white light to help heal that, which, by the way, last week's episode was all about healing, the 4 steps you need to take to healing in the Akashic Records. So if anybody has something that you want to work more deeply on, you can check last week's episode. Of course, you can also reach out to me. All right. I do private Akashic record readings, although I love to teach you all how to read your records. Okay. So there's training in the records too. Okay, Michelle, let me see what else the guides want to say about this. I'm going to scroll down and see if you're tapping in, if this is resonating, or if you're still here. Bringing in the white light. And the guides are saying, we've already talked a little bit about this issue in this episode, Michelle, and the guides are saying, thank you for bringing it up again. But it's really about the safety in feeling seen. The safety in feeling seen. Oh, there we go. Spot on. Safe, yes, when you're spending time with just yourself. Yeah, spending time with ourselves. Ooh, and I got the chills that just moved through my being. Michelle, I'll be praying for you, sending love, light, and activating your innate wisdom that you can hear that voice more loudly as you settle into this time alone. The guides are also saying for you, Michelle, and anybody else who is feels challenged either in meditation or being by yourself, you're going to. It's going to feel really uncomfortable for a bit, but you want to move through that energy. Breathe, set yourself a timer, require yourself just to sit and do nothing for 10 minutes a day. That came from my dear friend and client, Pam, who is a former critical care nurse, just talking about how important it is to teach our bodies to be calm and peaceful. Okay, so it's going to take practice. Anything that feels uncomfortable, we need practice with. That can include your responses to situations. Okay, I might have told y'all my ex has a fancy new girlfriend who's treating my kids very nicely. And I want to be very happy about this. And it's taking practice. It's taking repetitive practice for that. Okay. So we got to practice the things that we're not yet good at. Practice peace, practice peace, practice peace. All right. I want everybody just to drop in right now and get some intelligence from your crystalline tube of light, your Akashic Records. Tap into that piece of technology right now and just pose the question, how might I be able to practice more peace? And I want you to tell me what comes up for you. Type it in the comments. All right, good stuff. Let's keep rolling. We got more time to play. Washing machines and more. Thank you for all your comments today. Your all's comments are fantastic and they make the show, so keep them coming. Thank you. As a kiddo, people telling me they don't want me to read their thoughts when it was out of my control. Yeah, so we're in an interesting stage right now where, because not everybody's abilities are turned on, I don't want everybody reading my thoughts quite yet either. And I also recognize that once the Akashic Records become a piece of our technology that's turned on with in all of us, when we all tapped into the Akash and read the records, there's no hiding our thoughts from each other. There's no hiding or lying anything, really. We're all working with the same data, the same information, which this is also really trippy. Let me know what you think. Calm down there, girl. Let me know what you think about this one. The record shared with me because of that, when we can all tap in, when there's no lying, like when we all have access to, which we actually already do all have access to the same field of data. But when we're all aware of it and all tapped into it, it will level hierarchy on this planet because we're all tapped into the same data, the same resource, the same information. And I don't stay plugged into a lot of what's going on out there in the world. Every now and then I catch something. I know that there's a big storm coming. I do know that Donald Trump is still our president. The first time that Donald Trump ran for presidency, he and his campaign spent so much money with Cambridge Analytics. This is a data collection company out of the UK, that it shifted the ranking of commodities on this planet from gold and oil being the most valuable resource to data, information being the most valuable resource. Okay. So when we all can tap into the same level of access and resource, it will create a completely new structural system here on our planet. Can I get an amen? Let me know if that makes sense. All right, let's keep going. Jamie says, can you ask what is causing arthritis in my hands? Thank you. Yes. Okay, so this is the guys are saying, first of all, they want to address the biological aspect of the stiffness, and they're talking about magnesium, electrolytes, trace elements, things that allow the natural biological function of our cells to work at their highest level. This has to do with the mitochondria, how we process light. That's actually what the mitochondria of the cell does. Okay. So your body is wanting to process more light through it. And as you add some of these trace elements and what do we call those? Minerals, thank you, back into your body's going to be able to start processing the light more. Jamie also, and this is anybody who feels a resonance within your being, there's an invitation here to sun gaze. That's one of the best ways that we can increase our bandwidth. Also, taking a bath, light bath in the Akashic Records. The more time you spend in the Akashic Records, the more your bandwidth increases. But other ways that you can increase your light quotient, sun gazing. Sun gazing is where you're going to stare directly at the sun only at certain times of the day. This is very important. You can only do it 30 minutes after the sun has risen or 30 minutes before the sun sets. And you do it for 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. What you're doing is you're taking in the full spectrum of light into those eyes, those powerful pieces of technology, which are actually bringing energy into the body and creating the projection that we see that is reality on the back of our mind. Bring some light right into those eyes, opening up the pineal gland, opening up those different aspects of the cerebellum and the cerebral pathways, the brainstem. The way you see the world and yourself will shift and change very radically. Okay? All right, Jamie, let me know if that was helpful for you. Thank you for asking. All right. Michelle says, thank you for the time. You're very welcome. Podcast. Let's say, have you ever had anyone say, get out of my head? Yeah. Although I mind my own psychic business, I will have to say. I don't just go tapping and seeing what's happening out there. No need. My head's busy enough anyway. My head is so full of ideas and exciting things to do and exciting things to create. That yeah, I don't spend a whole lot of time snooping around in y'all's heads. That's why I'm glad that you get to hang out here with me on Wednesdays. All right. Your divine says rigidity of one's thinking is the cause of arthritis, which is rigidity in the joints. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. Oftentimes, this symbolic aspect of whatever it is, the physical symptom that we're experiencing will give us great data on where we can go to shift and change things. Shannon, hi, pretty lady, says, can you ask the guides if I should go to Mexico in May or September? All right, let's tap in, see what the guides have to say. Now, here's the thing with the Akashic Records is they don't tend to give binary answers like yes or no answers or do this or do that. The Akashic Records will only help us to see the bigger picture, and they will always respect our sovereignty and only invite us to consider. Okay. So Shannon, as I tap in, what the guides would like to invite you to consider is the soul learning and growth that comes at those different times of your life. Okay, so basically, what they're saying is going in May, you're going to be dealing with certain things in your life in May, certain aspects of your soul evolution that going into that vortex location will influence what's happening in your life. What you want to lean into is what's alive for me in my field in May versus what's alive for me in my field in September. And I don't know how much you plan out your year, or if you know, like if you've charted out soul growth for yourself, Shannon. Because I work with, so many students and clients and run a business, dude, my shit's mapped out. Okay. So I know in May, I'm going to be training in channeling the ascended masters with my advanced students. And I know in September, we're going to be working on alchemy. All right. So I might say, which one of those times in my life do I want to use the energy signature of that vortex, Mexico? And if you don't know the energy signature of the vortex, just say, what does it represent to me? What does it mean to me? What is it that I'm seeking out of this trip in the experience? And then you begin to make those decisions about how you're constructing and creating your life. Like, this is high level creatorship. When we tap in and we say, all right, what does my soul want to experience? And how can I potentially expand or contribute to that? How can I put myself in an environment that's going to be conducive to my soul growth? All right. So, Shannon, let me know if that felt helpful in terms of how you can tap in and get information about what's going to be best for you specifically. I hopefully that shared with you guys a little bit more too about how the Akashic Records work. Thank you so much. Wow, processing more light, trace minerals in your water. Oh, you are adding trace minerals to your water. Okay, so that's another really cool thing that I noticed in the records is that they will bring something through my field. Right, that came through my that one came through. I would say I heard them talking about the trace minerals. And so I'll offer something from the records like, hey, the records are saying, why don't you try this? And the person's like, oh, I'm doing that. Then it's a confirmation, right? Time is different in the Akashic Records as well. So that's an example of where time is actually different. I'm looking at it from the perspective of you haven't tried this yet. Your records are saying you need to go try this. Whereas it's actually coming in from the perspective of you've already tried this and your guides are confirming that that was the right move. Okay. Your divine said, having said that, there is definitely a natural cure for arthritis. Hello, popping in to say hi. Chai. Melinda says, thank you. You will be losing your job in June, so I can see May being good for you. Yes. Go create a new job, create some new identity in May, and then cruise yourself right through June. I like that. All right, I'm going to go back and see if we have any more questions that I can answer and serve you all and tap into today. If you have any last questions that you would like me to tap in and get information for you, please put them in the comments. I do want to share quickly, there are some cool times when you can come hang out with me. You can't see that. Come on, Tech. What are you doing? There we go. Rise of the Guardians is happening in May, the 8th through the 10th in Sedona. You're going to get to hang out with all of those amazing peeps that you see and more on your screen. So I'd love to invite you to come check that out. There are tickets or a link to tickets in the description below. You can also come hang at Conscious Life Expo next month in Los Angeles. And of course, the alchemy activation that we do every year on Mount Shasta. The light codes. Talk about expanding your light potion. Oh, one of the things that I really live for every year, Shasta, Lionsgate. This is a time to align your entire life to the timeline of your highest potential. That is what we do there at Mount Shasta. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the comments so you can check it out. All right. Oh, yay. We have some more questions coming in. I just like hanging out with y'all. It's good. Thank you. All is wonderful in today's message, divine guidance. Thank you for being here. All right, Yuza, what is the best thing I can do for my physical health right now? Salt came in for you like instantaneously. And there are a lot of different applications to that. Katie, daughter Vivi calling. Hang on 1 second. Hang on, Viv. I'm live, kid. Salt came in. Okay, so here's what they want to say about salt. One, salt is highly programmable. Anytime that we're adding salt to our baths or to water, or Edgar Cayce talked about this in some of his channeling from the Akashic Records. So salt and programming the salt is one of the best things that you can do right now, KD. Also working with crystals, the guides are saying. So I love to lay down and meditate with crystals placed on my chakras. Okay, that will help bring those into. All right, Vivi's FaceTiming me again. Hang on 1 second. Let me let her know. I'm live, kid. I'll call you right back. I'm live. She'll be so happy she's a part of today's show. Stop filming me, Mom. Okay, again, here's another example. Adding salt to your bath. Salt to your water. Okay, hang on. Take two. How did I see salt bath there? I was talking about the salt bath. I add salt to my lemon water daily. Excellent. Yeah, so then we were talking about the crystals, right? So the crystals, meditating with crystals on your chakras can be really impactful for helping them to move into balance. And when your chakras are all in balance and coherence, they're going to work to keep your body in pristine health. Any particular crystals? I'm getting a rose quartz on the heart would be very good for you. The guys are saying for now, match color to the chakra. So red for the root. You could use ruby. What's another red crystal? Y'all, my crystal lovers out there. Root, give us some good red ones for the root. That will really help us drop into safety as well. Okay, so then for the sacral is where we store unprocessed emotion. If you want to clear out the sacral chakra, you want to use a yellow stone there on the womb area. So as the chakras move up the crystalline tube of light, they're going to follow the color of the rainbow, Roy G. Biv. So you're going to go red. I'm sorry. I think I said yellow. It's orange in the sacral. Red, orange in the sacral. Yellow in your solar plexus. So if you want personal power, you'll find a yellow stone, a citrine maybe. Okay, you can use an orange carnelian for the orange. Red, orange, yellow. Heart is green. You can do green or pink for heart chakra. Okay, green. Blue in the throat if you want support speaking your truth and being more embodied in your truth. Put a blue chakra, a blue crystal on your throat chakra. Okay. Then you can use indigo, aquamarine, or a lighter or cobalty color blue is good for the throat chakra. Third eye is indigo. So you want those darker blue crystals. You can use lapis lazuli is a great one for the third eye, opening the third eye. And then your crown chakra, purple in color, that one, I use an amethyst, and we'll put an amethyst up there. Okay. All right. You guys have been awesome today. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to wrap up here and call my kid back. Make sure everything is good. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I do have 3 children, and one time I was live and I got like probably 20 calls in a row from my kid, and he had gotten carjacked that day. Go figure. All right, so all of you parents out there, go take care of your families. Thanks for hanging out with me. Keep track of your kids. Make sure they're good. I love y'all. See you back here next week. Bye.
The Akashic Records hold all information, past, present, and future, and are available to assist you now.
Do you seek answers within yourself but don't know if you can trust your intuition? Do you desire positive change in life but feel unsupported by others? Do you suffer from failure to execute but have hit your point of enough? Not only have I been there, but I have found my way out, and so can you. The Akashic Records are your key to understanding any area of stagnation and hold solutions to your greatest challenges. My mission is to teach you everything I know about the Akashic Records, how to use them with mastery, while always staying in beginner's mind, which will keep you humble yet powerful. It's all within you. Come, let me show you.
What have I gained from the Akashic Records? Reading the Akashic Records has strengthened and deepened my intuition, and at the same time allowed me to build a deeper connection with the inner wisdom of my gut and my heart in order to be able to support and challenge the decisions that I've made in my head.
Learning to read the Akashic Records helped me to cultivate the courage and the knowledge to start a new business. It helped guidance become clearer. It helped me become more confident for my entire life moving forward.